What if I told you that your intelligence is actually sabotaging your life? That every moment you spend crafting the perfect decision, you're making the worst decision of all? I discovered this after watching brilliant people. Maybe people just like you spend months perfecting choices that literally didn't matter 6 months later. And what I'm about to share will completely rewire how your analytical mind approaches every decision you'll ever make. I know exactly what's happening in your head right now. You're probably already analyzing whether this video is worth your time, whether you should take notes, whether you should watch it now or save it for later when you can give it your full attention. And here's what I know about you, because I used to be you. You spend hours researching the perfect restaurant for a dinner that lasts 90 minutes. You agonize over career moves while opportunities slip away. You craft and recraft text messages until the moment has passed entirely. Your friends call you thorough. Your family says you're careful. But late at night, when you're lying in bed, replaying that conversation from 3 days ago, wondering if you said the right thing, you know the truth. Your gift for deep thinking has become a prison. And every day you don't move forward is another day stolen from the life you're supposed to be living. But here's what's fascinating, and this is backed by 40 years of decision. Science research. The people making the best decisions aren't the ones thinking the longest. Let me share something that will blow your analytical mind. There's a concept in neuroscience called the paradox of choice, discovered by psychologist Barry Schwartz. Your brain literally gets worse at making decisions the more options you consider. After about 3 alternatives, your prefrontal cortex, that's your decision-making center, starts to experience what researchers call cognitive overload. Picture your mind like a computer processor. Every additional factor you analyze, every what-if scenario you run, every potential outcome you calculate, it's like opening another browser tab. And just like your laptop starts to freeze when you have 47 tabs open, your decision-making ability crashes under the weight of infinite analysis. Now, this doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. Your brain evolved to make quick survival decisions. Fight, flight, or find food. It was never designed to choose between 23 different coffee makers on Amazon, while simultaneously analyzing the long-term implications of your career trajectory. So here's the reframe that changes everything. Perfect decisions don't exist. There are only decisions that move you forward and decisions that keep you stuck. And the research shows that good enough decisions, made quickly, consistently produce better life outcomes than perfect decisions that never get made. This brings us to what I call the good enough rule. It's based on a concept economists call satisficing, combination of satisfy and suffice, coined by Nobel Prize winner Herbert Simon. Here's how it works, and I want you to imagine this scenario playing out in your own life. Step 1. Define good enough before you start analyzing instead of searching for the perfect option. You decide up front what criteria make a choice acceptable. Not perfect, acceptable. Let's say you're choosing an apartment. Instead of viewing 47 places while the perfect one gets rented to someone else, you decide. Good enough means safe neighborhood, under $2,000. Less than 30-minute commute allows pets. Done. The first apartment that checks these boxes. That's your answer? Step 2. Set a decision deadline. Here's the part that will save you hundreds of hours. Every decision gets a maximum time limit. Small decisions get 5 minutes. Medium decisions get 3 days. Life-changing decisions get 2 weeks, not 2 months. Not when I have enough information. 2 weeks. Step 3. Make the decision and move the moment you hit good enough. Within your time limit, you commit. No second guessing. No just one more option. You've used your intelligence to set smart criteria in a reasonable timeline. Now you trust the process. And here's the beautiful part. Your analytical mind will love. Studies show that people who use satisficing strategies report higher levels of life satisfaction than perfectionistic maximizers. They spend less time deciding and more time experiencing the results of their choices. Now, close your eyes for a moment and imagine what your life looks like 6 months from now when you've mastered the good enough rule. Picture yourself walking into a restaurant without spending 20 minutes reading reviews. Feel the lightness in your chest as you scan the menu once and simply choose something that sounds good. Notice how present you are with your dinner companion because your mind isn't churning through alternate meal choices. Imagine getting that job opportunity email, instead of spending 3 weeks crafting the perfect response while the position gets filled. You spend 30 minutes writing a solid application and hit send. Feel the rush of momentum as you take action while your competition is still perfecting their cover letter. Picture sending that text message without rewriting it 6 times. Imagine having conversations that flow naturally because you're not constantly calculating the optimal response. Feel the freedom of being spontaneous, authentic, imperfect, and alive. Most importantly, imagine the mental space this creates. All that energy you used to spend in analysis paralysis is now available for actually living your life. Your mind becomes a clear, still lake instead of a churning storm of what-ifs. Here's your first chance to practice. Right now, think of one decision you've been avoiding. Maybe it's small. What to watch on Netflix tonight? Maybe it's bigger, whether to take that course, make that call, have that conversation. Define good enough for that decision right now. Don't set a deadline. If it's small, decide in the next 60 seconds. If it's bigger, give yourself until tomorrow morning. Then commit to the first option that meets your good enough criteria. Now, I can practically hear your analytical mind raising objections. But what if I make the wrong choice? What if there's a better option I missed? What if I regret this decision? Here's what the research actually shows about regret. People regret the chances they didn't take far more than the imperfect choices they did make. Harvard psychologist Dan Gilbert's studies on effective forecasting prove that we're terrible at predicting how we'll feel about future outcomes. That decision you're agonizing over? 6 months from now, you probably won't even remember the alternatives you didn't choose. And here's the truth about wrong decisions. There's no such thing as a perfect choice, but there is such thing as a perfect response to any choice. Your ability to adapt, learn, and pivot is infinitely more valuable than your ability to predict every possible outcome. Think about this. Every hour you spend perfecting a decision is an hour stolen from implementing it, proving it, or moving on to the next opportunity. While you're crafting the perfect plan, someone with a good enough plan is already building the life you're still planning to live. So here's your moment of truth. You can close this video and go back to the same pattern that's been keeping you stuck. Analyzing, perfectingizing, optimizing yourself into paralysis. Or you can make one simple choice right now that changes everything. I know you're intelligent, I know you're thoughtful, I know you care about making good choices, but intelligence without action is just expensive hesitation. And thoughtfulness without movement is just overthinking, wearing a fancy suit. Here's the beautiful irony. Right now, you're probably analyzing whether you should subscribe to this channel. You're wondering if you should download the framework I'm about to offer you. You're calculating whether engaging with this content is worth your time. Don't. Just do it. Subscribe right now, not because it's the perfect decision, but because it's a good enough decision that moves you forward. Hit that bell notification because you've decided that learning to make faster, better decisions is worth 30 seconds of your time. Because here's what I know about you. You didn't find this video by accident. You're here because some part of you is tired of living in the space between decisions. You're ready to trade perfection for progress? You're ready to stop being the smartest person in the waiting room and start being the person who actually shows up to life. Your good enough decision is better than their perfect plan that never happens. Your imperfect action creates more value than their flawless inaction. The comment section is below. Type good enough. If you're ready to stop chasing perfect decisions and start living your actual life, and then, without analyzing it, without perfecting it, without overthinking it, go make one decision you've been avoiding, because the person you're meant to become is waiting on the other side of that decision, and they're tired of waiting for you to figure out the perfect way forward. You're good enough? It's good enough to change everything?